Imagine a country where you can stand in a frozen Arctic tundra, walk through a tropical rainforest, and hike across a burning hot desert, all without ever crossing an international border. A place where people eat 100 acres of pizza every single day. And where a high school student designed the national flag for a school project and only got a grade of B- for it. This is the United States of America. A massive land of big surprises, incredible variety, and things you probably never expected. If you are looking at this country for the very first time, it can feel a bit overwhelming. It is huge, it is loud, and it is full of unique habits. So let us break it down and look at what makes this place so fascinating. First, we have to talk about the sheer size of the land. The United States is the third largest country in the entire world. It is so big that it covers 6 different time zones. If you fly from New York on the East Coast to Los Angeles on the West Coast, you are traveling for about 6 hours. And you will change your watch by 3 hours. Because it is so big. The weather changes completely depending on where you go. In the north, like in Alaska, it is freezing cold with massive glaciers. In the south, like in Florida, it is hot, humid, and full of palm trees. And in the middle, you have deep canyons, giant rivers, and flat grassy plains that seem to go on forever. The people who live here are just as diverse as the landscape. There are over 340 million people living in the country. It is often called a melting pot because, for hundreds of years, people from every single corner of the earth have moved here, bringing their traditional foods, music, and celebrations with them. Because of this, the country does not actually have an official language written in its constitution. While almost everyone speaks English, you will hear hundreds of different languages spoken in daily life. In fact, Spanish is the second most common language, and millions of people use it every day. This mix of cultures has created some amazing things, especially when it comes to food and entertainment. Think about movie culture. The global film industry is centered in a neighborhood called Hollywood, located in California. Music genres like jazz, rock and roll, country, and hip-hop were all born right here, created by different communities sharing their sounds. And then there is the food. While Americans love their classic fast food, the regional food is where things get really interesting. If you visit the north, you might get thick clam soup. In the south, people cook meat slowly over smoke for hours, which they call barbecue. And as we mentioned earlier, the love for pizza is real. Americans eat about 350 slices of pizza every single second. If you want more fact videos in easy-to-understand English, subscribe below. Now, let us look at some of the quirky daily habits that surprise first-time viewers. If you ever go to a restaurant in the United States, you will notice 3 things immediately. First, the food portions are usually massive. One meal can easily be enough for 2 people. Second, your water will come packed with a mountain of ice, no matter how cold it is outside. And third, when the bill arrives, you are expected to pay extra money directly to your waiter or waitress. This is called tipping, and it is a normal part of the culture because food workers rely on those tips to make a living. Another big part of life here is local pride. People do not just feel proud of their country, they feel incredibly proud of their specific state. There are 50 states in total, and each one operates like its own mini-country with its own local laws, traditions, and even accents. Someone from Texas will sound and act very different from someone from New York. You will see state flags flying outside homes. And people love to talk about why their state has the best food or the best sports teams. Speaking of sports, games are a huge social event. American football, baseball, and basketball draw massive crowds. And even if you do not understand the rules, the high energy inside the stadiums is something you have to experience. Beyond the cities, the country has a deep love for nature. The United States was the first country in the world to create a national park, starting with Yellowstone all the way back in 1872. Today, there are hundreds of protected nature spots. You can see trees that are as tall as 30-story buildings in California, or watch giant brown bears catch fish in the wild rivers of Alaska. It is a place where nature is grand, dramatic, and highly protected. So, from the neon lights at Times Square to the quiet, open spaces of the Wild West, this country is a mix of many different worlds joined together. It is a place built on big dreams, diverse backgrounds, and a constant drive to create new things. Seeing it for the first time is just the beginning of understanding how complex and exciting it really is. Thanks for watching.